What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Cam ATL, and welcome back to another Prize Picks video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're going to love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys for joining me. PropsMadeEasy.com if you're interested in player props. There's no better data-driven tools in the industry than PropsMadeEasy.com. These tools will show you based off of the data who the best plays are. That way you know every single pick you make, if it's off of the tool, you know you're making the smart play and you can rest easy regardless if it loses or wins or whatever. You know that you played the right play. And at the end of the day, that's what matters, and that's what's going to hit most consistently is when you play these smart bets. There's people all the time that are like, oh, this guy, this, like people were bashing Bam Adebayo in NBA yesterday, and then he goes out and has a huge game. That's what I'm talking about. Is the data back to Bam Adebayo hitting that fantasy projection more often than not. Just because he might not have smashed last series doesn't mean that Bam Adebayo is not in a great spot at that fantasy score. And that's the point that I try to make. And these tools really are here to make the regular players who are used to making simple decisions based off of one small outcome, one small little group of outcomes, like over the last series or over the last few games, last 5 games. These tools help you get a more broad look at what players are in the best spots based off of like a big broader range of data. Remember, PropsMadeEasy.com isn't just a human going in here and putting in projections and putting their own gut feel in. Okay, we are partnered with the biggest data company in sports, pretty much. Like, so this isn't some like just thrown together thing. This is the best data you can possibly get to give you the most accurate look at what the best plays are in all these different sports that we have available to us. So stick with it, even if you have losses. Stick with it, man. We swept NBA yesterday. Csgo was a rough go at it, but yeah, swept NBA. Had a great start to the finals over at Greenlight DFS, my company Greenlight DFS, where we have optimal lineups and stuff like that. That's what I do over there. DFS content. You can go right here at the top right to go over to Greenlight. We almost got the takedown on the NBA Showdown slate for the first finals game. Looking to continue that success on the rest of this finals. MLB has been smashing as well. It's been fantastic over at Greenlight. If you're interested in daily fantasy sports. If not, and you want player props, I do put my favorites over at Greenlight as well, but you can use the player prop tools as well and have a ton of success. So, greenlightdfs.com if you want to know my personal optimal lineups for DFS and my personal Prizepicks plays. If you just want to look at what the tool has for the best player props, you can just propsmadeeasy.com, only $15 a month. All right? Let's get straight into it. Starting off at baseball, we don't have NBA or NHL. All right? So, starting off with baseball, the first guy I want to talk about is Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper has a dream of a matchup against Josiah Gray from Washington. Now, Gray struggles badly versus lefties. He gives up a ton of power versus lefties, and Bryce Harper, we know, has a ton of power. So this matchup is not good for Josiah Gray at all. This is a spot where Bryce Harper should come in and get a dinger early on in this game. I'm expecting a home run out of Harper here, so that he should be able to hit this easy. But no matter what, I'm expecting a few hits out of him, some RBIs, whatever, and him to be able to surpass this 8-hitter fantasy score. Really love Bryce Harper today. We have him projected over 10, 2.28 differential. Rocking with Bryce Harper with that lefty-righty matchup against Josiah Gray as our first play. Let's take a look at some other plays that we have available to us here. Any pitcher strikeouts that stick out crazy. We have a few spots that are interesting. Pitcher outs. I love doing pitching outs. um, the tool definitely sees Josiah Gray getting rocked today. Is this game in Philly? Let me check and see if this game is in Philly real fast. um, all right. No, the game is in Washington. Sorry, my alarm's going off. The door was opened while the alarm was set. Give it a second if you hear that in the background. All right. Charlie Morton against Arizona. Vegas is on the under. The prop tool is also on the under. For that one, you have Ober under the 17.5. That's heavy Vegas, heavy under. Josiah Gray. Vegas is on the over, but the tool is big on the under here. This is a spot where you could really get value if you're betting on a site like a regular prop site. You could definitely grab that under here as some value. Josiah Gray is expected to get rocked by Philly today. The game is in Washington though, So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here, even though Tool is keeping that in mind and everything. I'm still going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to take a look at a few other spots here real quick. Um, yeah, I mean, probably one of the better spots to go with is either Ober on the under pitching outs or Charlie Morton on the under pitching outs. I always like to take guys who are on the road when I do unders. So let me see. We have Atlanta on the road in Arizona for Charlie Morton. And then we have Ober at home. So I'm going to go the. You know what? I'm going to trust in it. Let's go under on Josiah Gray. I just think Philly really rocks him. They've got a ton of lefties in that lineup, and Josiah Gray struggles versus lefties badly. I think Philly gets to Josiah Gray quick. And I think he goes under 16.5 pitching out. So we have him projected at 14.95. So we have Josiah Gray getting rocked. We'll see what happens. Who knows? This is gambling. So at the end of the day, Josiah Gray could go out and have the best game of his career. Who really knows? But the data would point to Josiah Gray having struggles here against Philly today. So I'm going to go under on Josiah Gray pitching outs. I've learned that when I'm in a toss-up and I'm not sure what I want to pick, just go straight with the tool and just trust in it. That's the best way to go. So over on Bryce Harper. We have over on Bryce Harper's hitter fantasy score. And then when it comes to pitching outs, we're going under on Josiah Gray's pitching outs at 16.5. All right, first inning runs tool. So for first inning runs, the best over we're looking like is going to be the Brewers and the Reds. Burns has been in the first inning. He's a yellow, so he's kind of in the middle. But Brandon Williamson has been bad. Vegas has the over. Over-under of this game is incredibly high at 10. 5.16 ERA, 1.79 whip. Both offenses have done good in the first. Both are hitting the ball hard. This is an over candidate. So Brewers and Reds over. And then the best under we have available to us, unless more data is added as we're doing this video and we're able to get another look at it when we do when we review it. Let's see. So the Guardians and Twins looks good. The Angels and Astros looks really good. Both of these pitchers are really, really good. I'm going to go with the lack of offense that you see out of the Guardians and Twins in the first inning lately. I'm going to go the under on the Guardians and Twins first inning runs, but the Angels and Astros is perfectly fine too. Ohtani and Valdez are great pitchers. They're both in fantastic spots. So I'm going to go the under on Guardians and Twins, and I'm going to go the over on Brewers and the Reds. All right, CSGO. For CSGO, we have the over on Empathy for Shimmer going against Enigma Galaxy. This is a great spot for Empathy. His map 1 kills is only at 18. We have him projected over 20 easy, 22.24, a 4.24 differential for his map 1 kills for Empathy. Going over on Empathy, and then we're going to stick with, let's go in under, because Nico's under for G2 is popping really solid. We're going to go the under 40.5. A lot of these unders are hitting when it comes to when players are over the 40-something mark. A lot of their unders have been hitting, especially when they're popping for unders on the tool as well. Nico for G2 going against FaZe. We have the under on his 40.5 maps 1 and 2 kills. We have him projected around 34, 35, a minus 5.92 differential for Nico. So going under on Nico's map 1 and 2 kills, and then over on Empathy map 1 kills. And then I don't believe we have WNBA updated yet. No, Prizepicks hasn't added WNBA yet, but we will have some. We don't have a ton available for soccer, but Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United is the over bet. That would be the best value. And then the under is Santiago Asisibar. I'm not even going to try to say his team name. I'm not going to try to say his opponent. We're going under on Santiago. We're going over on Bruno. That's it, plain and simple. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Let's do a recap. Starting off at, where was it? MLB. We're going over on Bryce Harper's hitter fantasy score against Josiah Gray. Struggles badly versus lefties. Then we're going under on Josiah Gray's pitching outs. I'm expecting Philly to get to him. So I'm going under on Josiah Gray's pitching outs. First inning runs tool. We have the over on the Brewers and Reds. And then we have the under on the Angels and Astros is the top option now. All right, so rock with that. That's the best one available to us. So, I mean, Guardians and Twins is still good, but Angels and Astros is at the top of the list. So that's the best under that you could go with. All right, CSGO. We have Empathy for Shimmers over map 1 kills, and then Nico G2 under map 1 and 2 kills. And then for WNBA hasn't been updated on Prizepicks yet. When it does get updated, PrizeMadeEasy.com will have it updated, and you can see the best plays for WNBA. For soccer, we don't have a lot of options, but over on Bruno Fernandez and then under on Santiago. And that's it, y'all. Thank you guys for joining me as always, man. Let's keep smashing these props, keep playing these data-based props, and just stay consistent, man. Keep continuously just stacking up that bankroll. If you have down moments, understand that it has nothing to do with you're picking the wrong plays. It just has to do with, especially if you're doing the data, if you're looking at the advanced data. Like if you're a Props Made Easy member, when you lose, you can rest assured that it wasn't due to just throwing a pickup. Like, it's the data backed that play 100%. Whether it works or not is the betting part of it. Nobody knows how to get 100% of bets right. And that's something that I've noticed a lot of. Like, I guess it's probably the Twitter betting world and all this other shit. Like, people think that you really can win all the time. And if you're not, you suck. Or if you have losing stretches, that you just suck. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, if I just don't understand it. People just don't really understand how betting works. But I'm here to hit y'all with that reality every time I come on here and make sure you understand. Like, I've been doing this 8+ years. Like, I know what it takes to be successful in props. I know what it takes to be successful in DFS, and all of it is up to how much time you put in. The amount that you get out of this stuff is the amount of work that you put in. That's why Props Made Easy was developed, is to save you that time, but understanding that the way to success in player props is to play the smartest data-backed plays, no matter how your gut feels about it. Supporting the data-backed plays is the way to bet. That's what all of the professional gamblers who make a living off this shit do. They go off data. They don't just say, oh, he hasn't had a good series last series, I'm not playing his over. You know what I mean? Like, the pro bettors did not bet over on Caleb Martin last night. Like, that's a good example for you. Like, Caleb Martin, everybody probably betted over just because he had a great series last series. I took his unders and hit easy last night. The tool was all over his unders. I had a few people message me saying, how could you like the unders on Caleb Martin? That's exactly why. Because one series doesn't mean shit. And that's the point I'm trying to make, is at the end of the day, you want to look at a broader spectrum of data because the consistency of it is more accurate. That's just is what it is. I've been doing it 8+ years, and I get it. There's people watching this video right now who probably been betting 6 months to a year who feel like I'm an idiot and that they're better. Go for it. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to use Props Made Easy, I say it all the time. If you don't believe in Props Made Easy and you don't believe in the data back plays, or you don't like it, you don't have to be a member of it. Nobody at Props Made Easy, not myself, not anybody in the background of this and who does all the work here, cares. If you are like, we're here, we put it here to give people the most, consistent way to be successful, and we are almost at 2,000 members. So a lot of y'all understand that Props Made Easy is the way to go when it comes to player props. The people who don't, go to a Discord, go play plays off Twitter, whatever you feel like is the best move for you. You know what I'm saying? You have to go through life and you have to go through trial and error. You got to try different things. You got to learn from them. You know what I'm saying? And when you come back to Props Made Easy, welcome back. You know what I'm saying? If you don't and you feel like following Twitter's the best idea, go for it. I'm never one to like force anybody anything. You know what I'm saying? You do what you want to do. The Props Made Easy membership's only $15 a month. You know what I mean? So to try Props Made Easy and to try it out and see if it's something that works for you or that you have success with, it costs nothing to do it. If you don't have $15, you shouldn't be betting. Period. If you don't have $50, that's part of the conversation we had when we first were starting Props Made Easy, and the guys, the big owner people of Props Made Easy were talking about it. And I was like, man, honestly, if people don't want to join at $15, or if $15 is too much for somebody to join, then they should not be gambling. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we've had conversations about this. Like, there's people still who, you know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, there's people whose memberships cancel from time to time on Props Made Easy due to insufficient funds. If you don't have $15 in your bank, don't bet. Like, I shouldn't have to tell you that. You should know that already. You know what I'm saying? But once again, I'm here to just speak real. I just want people to do the right thing. Whether you use Props Made Easy, you use Twitter, you use whatever you want to do, make the right decisions for you and just roll with it. You know what I'm saying? And learn from it, because people go through ups and downs. You learn from situations. I made decisions early in my life where I ended up being homeless. You know what I'm saying? When I was 18, 19. And I learned from that and I built myself from that. I recognized what that felt like to be homeless, and I worked my ass off 10 times harder to never have to feel that way again. And that's what life is all about. You go through things, you go through trial and error, and you learn from them and you grow from it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with Props Made Easy. You use Props Made Easy, you don't love it, you try something else, you learn, you're like, okay, you know what? Maybe Props Made Easy was the best route. You know what I mean? And then you come back here. Or you use Props Made Easy and you immediately understand that Props Made Easy is the best route. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the people who have been betting the longest, we all understand what it takes to be successful in props. And that is by playing the data and not letting recent performance and stuff like that cloud your judgment. A lot of people are like, oh, you have to watch sports to understand. Not really. Not really. I specifically know a professional bettor who makes six figures off of this a year, and he doesn't even watch sports. Like, I've been talking sports with him before, and he knows not a damn thing. But because he has shit that goes off of data for his plays, he consistently is hitting. He consistently hits, whether it be a game money line, whether it be player props, he's consistently hitting. And that's what it's all about. I know firsthand. I sit there and watch him have success, and he doesn't know a fucking thing about basketball. He doesn't watch basketball. I've never seen him watch a game of baseball because that shit doesn't matter. The data knows the players more than we can know the players. Honestly, if you look at a broad spectrum of data, it shows you what a player is more than you possibly could know about him. You feel what I'm saying? But anyway, it is what it is. Hey, Props Made Easy people, thank you guys. We're almost at 2,000 members, man. So shout out to y'all. Everybody at Props Made Easy wanted me to announce this in the video. Thank you to everybody who is, supporting Props Made Easy, who is a part of Props Made Easy, who's enjoyed it so far. Thank you guys for all this support and all that stuff. I'm just a voice of this shit, man. I'm really not shit when it comes to this. I don't put projections. I don't do none of that shit. I just use it, and I support it because I know it works. I've won so much money off this shit, and so have all of you. If you watch my videos, you know. Like, we dominate majority of the time. So, yeah, man, having a lot of fun. Thank you guys as always for watching. Sorry I went on a little bit of a rant, but sometimes, I want to speak some real to y'all because not a lot of people in this industry do that. A lot of people try to hide and kind of act like they do certain things. I see people posting screenshots like they won like $1 million on Prizepicks. It's just all bullshit. And at the end of the day, my thing is I want to just keep it real with people, and if I could save people from making mistakes, then I would love to do that. But at the end of the day, learning from mistakes is a big thing in life too. Like I talked about the homeless thing, like learning from your mistakes and your decisions that you make. Yes, comparing homelessness with using Props Made Easy is completely different things, but it's the point of learning from your decisions. You know what I mean? You have to go through things, and if it doesn't work, you fail. You got to keep pushing, try new things, and when you find something that works, that's it. And you got to stick with it, and you got to understand this is the way to go through the ups and the downs. Betting is an up and down roller coaster, man. If you let it bother you too much, it'll mentally fuck you up. Like, losses are gonna happen. I do this shit for a living, and I lose. I have losing stretches where I can't seem to get a dub. But that's because that's betting. Everyone goes through that. Everyone. My friend who makes six figures in a living off sports betting has months where he has down months. And that's just the truth of it. That's how it is. You know what I mean? So, thank you guys for joining me as always, man. Y'all have an amazing day. It's Friday, baby. I felt like maybe giving y'all a little talk at the end would be great. Just to get you into the weekend, kind of feeling more, good about this. But anyways, thank you guys for joining me. Y'all have an amazing weekend. Y'all stay safe out there. I will see y'all in tomorrow's video. Peace.